morning, everybody. It is 9:22. Welcome back to CW Iowa Live. Our good friend Rick Davis is here from Fidelity Bank. And last week when you were here, we got on the topic of reverse mortgages because it seems like every time you turn the TV on, somebody's talking about a reverse mortgage, and they sound good in principle. And we want to know the skinny. We want to know the bottom line. Are they such a great idea, or do you have something else in mind?
They may be the best idea.
Is it really?
But you really need to be at an entity that has the full service menu, not just one item. Okay. You might be allergic to peanuts.
There's just not one version of it.
So if you're allergic to peanuts, you don't want to eat any.
Got it.
So my problem in the whole industry is you find big time experts that might do rocket mortgages or they might do HECM loans and they blow up the TV and they're on 40 times a day, so they must be great. Well, they are great in some items, in some cases, but not in all. So you really need a consultation type thing, and you need a lender that has everything, all the way from construction loans, remodeling loans, normal purchase loans, government loans, subsidized loans, and HECM loans. We happen to be the only one in Iowa that has it all.
And there's you just can't throw out reverse mortgage and it's one thing.
Well, it will fit a box, but it might not be the best thing for the person.
All right, let's start at square one here. What is the definition of a reverse mortgage? For those people that have heard that name and that phrase tossed out all these years, what is a reverse mortgage?
Well, first of all, it's a new reverse, which is completely different than what they might know, because it's a negative thing what it used to be, and it's a positive thing now in the right cases. It used to be that you lost ownership of the house in some cases right away, and the government owned it and you could live there. And they didn't check on credit, so anybody could do it, and then there's all kinds of issues that you couldn't afford to maintain a house, or you couldn't afford to pay your property tax.
So what was the deal back? What was the deal back then? What would you just say? Well, you'd sign away your house, or?
Well, you would give ownership of the house up, and they would expect you to do everything. It was really made and created for a low minority type process, and it never occurred to people they might not be able to afford to maintain their home, so it became a very bad issue.
So what's the new version?
The new issue is you need to be moderate income so you can afford property taxes. That's your issue. You still have them whether you have any kind of loan, right? Nobody forgives property taxes. The state does not. So there's no surprises with this loan, and there's a consultation that you have to go through to make sure you understand everything. Having said that, it's really made for the middle class now and above middle class. My first 3 loans are financial planners for themselves. So it's not like it's for people that don't understand the system. But I dread the idea of somebody calling a telephone, getting something in the mail, and making a commitment. You have a former fellow employee that had a bunch of stuff sent to him, and they never stop. It never occurs to ask them why you're doing it, what the purpose is, and where you want to be when you're done. And that's what a consultation does differently.
As opposed to just calling someone who doesn't even live here. You want to know what's happening before you
and why they're doing it. Sometimes it makes great sense, but the fact is, if I have 20 different processes, I can say this one works best for you, this one works best for you. Let me know what you want to do.
You need to find out what the situation is.
Every time.
We've thrown some terminology around HELOC and HECM.
Well, HELOC is a home improvement line of credit, and a HECM is basically a reverse mortgage where you don't have a payback type of loan. So the nice thing is someone might have a free and clear house that needs $20,000 worth of remodeling, and they could go get a loan and have to pay it back in 5 years or 4 years or have an issue with it, which might put a burden on them because they've got their limited income and they're living well, but they didn't have this $200 a month payment in it. They could get a HECM, and they could get a HECM for $100,000. Only use 20 and have an open line of credit for whatever they need it for $80,000 that they don't make any payments on ever.
Now you said this is not a free and clear house. So this is somebody.
Well, in other words, you might not have a free and clear, but you would need to take it to free and clear, and that would be part of your HECM loan.
That would be all inclusive in the loan.
But there's a whole bunch of lower $150,000 to $300,000 houses that are free and clear in our market. About 20% of them.
Are they really?
But they still need to be maintained. And now you're on limited income, and you want to live in your house without stress. You don't want the roof to leak.
Yeah, that's true.
This makes total sense, no risk, because if you want to pay it back, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. And it's
how does that work? You know, you have a loan and you want to pay it back, Jackie, go ahead and pay it, but if not, no big deal.
Jackie won't fit. I'm close. Well, I'm there, and you're close.
I'm knocking on the door.
I have 2 years to go.
She's waiting to get in. I'm waiting for my number to be called.
At 62 years, it is a system that was put in by a guy named Ronald Reagan a very long time ago. Now it's been modified to be ready for the 21st century.
Now, you brought us some reading material this morning.
Yeah, and we have these available to people that can just get acquainted with what the program is. I really want to talk to your financial planner. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I want to talk to people that I can explain and understand everything. It's a very good system for the right people, but there's other loans if it's not, and maybe they don't need a loan. They just need to move things around on their own. We don't need to make every loan. We need everybody happy when they leave.
So you'll be able to say you're able to help them adjust things?
We want to look. We need to look. That's the difference in the consultation program rather than the telephone program.
You're not just going to throw them into a loan just to do it. You're going to make sure it's right for them and do the right thing.
We expect their family to be our clients, not just them. And you can't do that unless you take better care of them than they expected when they came in.
Makes sense.
Yeah, where they tell people and then they tell people.
This is so magnificent if explained correctly. It's sad that it gets abused by the media and the booms and the bombs and why. It's not perfect for everybody, but for those it's perfect. There's no comparison.
All right, now what age are we talking here? That
62.
You have to be 62 in order to take advantage of what we just talked about.
Yes, and that's about it. If you're 62, you could stay in the home and never make a payment again for as long as you live.
But you still have to pay the property taxes.
Property taxes, and you have to have homeowners insurance. Those little things so you don't burn down and you're living at the YMCA.
Right.
All right. Okay. So you can get all the information. We have material for you to check out. Otherwise, a great website as well with more information.
FidelityBank.house has got different information, including our shows, so they can go there and see it also. And come on in. Give us a call. I'm Rick Davis. They call me Banker Rick. I know this program, but I know it all. Please come see us because this is how it gets out. We want to change it. We're not going to mass media. We're going to visit.
And people can, and you mentioned see you. They can really sit
this
down
program,
with
they're
you.
going to see me or Amber. We're the only trained ones.
Who the other person is that comes in and visits.
Your other guest. Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Good job as always, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Good. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
All right, we will be right back, folks. You are watching CW Iowa Live, and when we return, it is National Donut Day. We've been telling you about that all day long.
He's got some.
Folks from Duncan are here, of course.
He brought some donuts.
Don't eat them, Rick. There are.
No, I will not.